Time to get back to Wembley Arena now for the undercard weigh-in. Let's rejoin Fraser Dainton. Fraser.
Very good afternoon to you. We have all manner of mayhem going on here at Wembley Arena because this place is absolutely packed. It's off the scale like nothing else we have ever experienced here in this country as far as a boxing match is concerned. You can probably tell the place is getting very, very loud, very rowdy. Because there are several of the Sky Sports boxing stars, promoters, etc., on the stage who are answering questions from these thousands of fight fans who are in here at Wembley Arena, all eager to see the main event kicking off a little bit later as Carl Froch and George Groves got onto the stage. Before that, of course, we've got quite a few fighters who are going to be taking part in the undercard. We've got the likes of Anthony Joshua, James DeGale. We'll be seeing them taking to the stage as well. I think things are just about finishing on the stage itself, which means that Adam Smith has finished his questions. The music started. It's going to be like a nightclub in here. Hopefully, you'll be able to hear Jim Watt, who is with me now. Jim, what about this atmosphere here today?
The atmosphere's terrific. I mean, this just underlines what a huge event we have in store tomorrow. And what I found very interesting was the split between the crowd here, between Froch and Groves. I expected Groves to be more of the hero now after his performance last time, but I think it was split 50-50. But I'm wondering, with 80,000 people tomorrow night, how will the split be then? Will the majority be with Carl Froch to lift him? I'm thinking maybe the majority will be with Groves, and I'm wondering how will that affect Carl. Carl was booed after the fight last time and he didn't deserve to be, so I'm hoping the crowd are pretty, split between the two guys. We've got an even fight ahead of us, so hope we'll have an even crowd as well.
We're finding it difficult to hear ourselves think with the noise that we've got on here at the moment. Goodness knows what it's going to be like for the fighters themselves when there are 80,000 in at Wembley. Is that going to be a major factor, do you think, in this, Jim? It's a question of who handles it the best?
No, well, I think that they'll both handle it equally well. I mean, Carl Froch has his experience to call upon. He's boxed all over the world. He's boxed the best super middleweights. George is at the start of his career. He knows he put up a fantastic performance last time, and he reckons he's good enough to pick up from where he left off, and score the victory. I don't think the crowd will affect anyone adversely unless there is a big favourite. Unless when the fight is, when Michael Buffer announces the fight, if someone is badly received, I mean, that could affect them certainly in the early stages. That's why I'm saying I hope the crowd are fairly neutral. Just enjoy what's going to be a fantastic event.
You can tell how big an event it is because obviously we've got a few problems in terms of logistics, getting everybody here, getting everybody heard. Paul Smith is joining us. Paul, just come a little bit across, and Paulie Malignaggi is going to be joining us too. Get yourself in there, Paulie. It's great to see you, boys. First of all, your reaction. I mean, the crowd, you were asking questions there, from microphone going round, all sorts of excitement. You've ever experienced anything like this side of the USA?
Not this side of the pond, no. This is a weigh-in, and the amount of people turning up and being on that stage, then being asked some questions. It's fine with a camera in front of you. You're just talking to a camera. When there's all actually standing there, booing you, cheering you, you have to give your opinion. There's half the arena cheering for Groves, they won't like it. There's half the arena cheering for Froch. If you pick Groves, they won't like it either. So it's great, but I love this interacting with the fans, and I think every fighter does. It's what they're here for. They buy their tickets.
Paulie's like being in Vegas, isn't it?
Yeah, it has a very Vegas feel to it, this weigh-in. But, again, I like the way they involve the crowd here. You see, we just had the questionnaire thing. Over there in Vegas, it's just everybody's in the crowd, and they're just making a ruckus, and they're making a bunch of noise, and it's cool, and everybody's anticipating some cool stuff. But here, you see, they always add a little touch to it. Here we had the questionnaire when you get the fans involved with the fighters and the people and the top people in attendance, and it just involves them more, and it makes people look forward to just more. I love the way they did this.
Okay, let's get things up and underway with the first man who's going to be strutting out there in front of 80,000 people. It's Anthony Joshua who's going to be taking to the scales. First of all, let's hand it over to our MC, Tuukka Koistunen.
Ladies and gentlemen, very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Wembley Arena here in London, right next to the Wembley Stadium, where tomorrow Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport presents an evening of Spa Championship Boxing. Froch versus Groves 2, Unfinished Business. Sponsored by Betway, Lonsdale and Rockstar Energy Drink, Available live and exclusive on Sky Sports box office in the UK and HBO in America. This is the official weigh-in, and we start from the undercard fights going all the way down to the main event. This weigh-in is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, along with the WBA and IBF. The BBBFC supervisor is Robert Smith. WBA supervisor is Jesper Denson of Denmark. And the IBF supervisor is Daryl Peoples from USA. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to start the weigh-in if you are ready. Fight fans, are you ready? Introducing to first the two participants of tomorrow's first fight. It is in the heavyweight division, scheduled for 8 rounds. Coming to the scales first, fighter in 9 fights, 7 wins, 2 defeats, including 3 KO victories. He hails from Milton Keynes. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Matt Legg. "16 stone, 3 pounds and 9 ounces. And join us next, fighter whose record stands at 5 fights, 5 KO victories and no defeats. He fights out of Woodford. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Olympic gold medalist Anthony Joshua.
He looks absolutely fantastic. In the box. We hope that this man is going to be the future of British
16
heavyweight
stone,
boxing.
12
He has all
pounds.
the tools in the box. He has been explosive in his opening 5 fights with 5 knockouts. And Paulie, I'm sure you're pretty excited about looking at this guy because so much is expected of him in what is a division that could really do with a superstar.
Yeah, and not just a superstar, but also a fresh face, some fresh young blood to infuse it with the excitement, you know. And as the Klitschko's get older, especially now Vitaly's retired, you see a stare down here. Vladimir is getting up in age as well. You're going to need some new blood to infuse some excitement into the heavyweight division.
Ladies and
We have
gentlemen,
Wilder,
once again,
we have Anthony Joshua. You expect a lot of great things from him.
Anthony Joshua just facing off with Matt Legg, and hopefully very, very soon we are going to be hearing from Anthony Joshua himself. He's going to be joining us just by the side of the stage very, very soon, very shortly. Paul, what have you made of what you've seen of Big AJ so far?
Same as every other way, and he's in fantastic shape, isn't he? He's an absolute, quality specimen of an athlete. He's huge. He's getting bigger as well. He's doing a lot more of weight training, but he's just got to try and stay supple with it and stay flexible and not get too rigid. But he's taking it all in a stride. He's happy every time you see him. He's got a smile on his face. He's always meeting and greeting the press, the public, the fellow boxers. He's really loving it. He's loving every bit of it, and he can fight. He's a super heavyweight Olympic gold medalist, and as Paulie say, it's about time we had a fresh face on the heavyweight scene. It's crying out for that, in my opinion.
Fingers crossed, Jim. He is every bit as good as everybody thinks he is.
Yeah, well, there's so many things to like about him. He's huge, he's so muscular, but he's also athletic. And one of the things I like most about him, he's not been caught up in the hype. He's his own worst critic, which is very important at this developing stage of his career. He's never happy with a performance. He's wiping the floor with people, but he's never happy about it. And I think he's a terrific talent. He's a terrific talent. We know we have to be careful, especially in the heavyweight division. They're being careful, but it won't be too long before they start stepping out in class and letting them off the lead.
Fingers crossed he will be joining us very, very soon. In fact, he is on his way right now. There are other fights going on, of course, on Saturday night, and there are other weigh-ins happening. But hopefully AJ is going to be with us very, very soon. But the one thing that really has stood out for me about Anthony Joshua so far, Jim, is the fact that he's so cool and so relaxed every time he's in the ring.
be so easy to be carried away, you know, with the treatment he's been getting and the results he's been getting. But that's what I said, that's what really impresses me about him. His feet are firmly on the floor. He knows he's at the start of a very, very long journey. He knows, especially in the heavyweight divisions, how quickly things can go wrong. So he pays attention to every detail, and I don't see any reason why he can't go all the way to the top.
Okay, fingers crossed. Anthony Joshua is going to be with us very, very shortly. We're over here. Good to see you. Just come along this side for me, if you would, please, AJ. I'm going to have to stand on a box again, aren't I? But what about this crowd, first of all, Anthony? What did you make of that?
Well, it's the closest atmosphere I've been into this was the Olympics, but this is completely different. Obviously, it's a professional bout, but the atmosphere, the crowd, the support that we got here is
5 pounds and 1
All good.
ounce.
And the reaction from the crowd to you, everybody wants you to do well.
That's a positive thing, you know. This is my hometown.
And
I'm
now,
a Londoner.
ladies and gentlemen, his
We're in
opponent,
Wembley.
whose record
A lot of
stands
my
at
fights have been
23
in
wins,
Wales,
2 defeats and 1
Scotland,
bout even, including 10 KO
York,
victories.
but right now we're like
He's
5
the
minutes from
former
my house.
undefeated British,
All these guys are out to support,
Commonwealth,
have a good night, and I'm here
European
to
and
entertain them. This is
IBF
heavyweight
world
boxing as well.
champion, hailing
And
from
what about in the
Doncaster.
future? Because everybody would love to
Ladies
see
and
you
gentlemen,
having
let's
an
hear it
event like
for
this of your own. How about that?
I would not turn it down
McDonough.
for anything. You know, I'm on the undercard. I feel great. I'm buzzing. I can only imagine how Fletch and Groves are feeling right now. They're all here to see these guys get it on. This is the rematch what everyone wanted. I'm honoured to be part of it, but they're the main event. They're going to have a cracking time, and I'm going to be a fan watching it as well.
Anthony, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. Anthony Joshua has weighed in. He's ready to go. We'll bring you the next fight on the undercard, which is going to be James DeGale versus Brandon Gonzalez very soon here on Sky Sports News.